about following Pat there?
Well, why would it be the worst job in the country? I don't.
Because of the just to try to follow Pat. They compared it to following John Wooden, Bear Bryant, Dean Smith. It's just the expectations are so high when you come in.
I don't. I love the opportunity to follow Pat Summitt. I've been associated with her. I've played for her. I've worked for her. It's a great opportunity for me. It's a challenge, absolutely, but I'm blessed to have this opportunity, and it's wonderful. I still have Pat Summitt by my side. Don't forget that. So I think it's a perfect situation for me. It's all I know, and it's all I'm going to continue to do.
Holly, you were sitting here last year with Pat. How much different does it feel to be back here sitting here by yourself?
Well, I think last year was a great training tool for me. The opportunity to sit with Pat and by her side and make sure that I was there for her in the program. And now, this, Dan, this is about preparation. When you coach with somebody, your mentor, your former coach, and your friend for 28 years, it is a learning process for you. So I think the opportunities I was given by Pat has prepared me for this day. And last year, being in that situation has just further prepared me for this day and this season.
What did you learn about yourself last year?
Well, I think that the opportunity to lead young ladies, the opportunity to coach, to lead them in the direction where we wanted to go, the understanding of the commitment of what it takes to be a head coach, especially at the University of Tennessee, just all aspects. I got the chance to do media, to do community service, practice, games. So I did those things, but it just went to another level, and had the opportunity to understand the commitment, the time commitment, and I loved it, enjoyed it. It's what I was meant to do.
Have you learned things since taking over in April about being a head coach? And if so, what are some of those things?
Dan, I think that I understood the time commitment, but I didn't really know the day-to-day activities, the amount of time that's spent away from basketball. Obviously, with recruiting, with speaking, talking to the media, those type of things have been a little bit more than I had anticipated, which is fine. I love doing that stuff. But and then you're involved with your team and trying to get them ready. We have a young team, so then you turn around and take a new coach with a young team, and it's a lot of time, a lot of commitment.
Coach,
Such a young team, how much has that added to the challenge?
Well, I'd be concerned if I love this team, and I love how they play, so I recruited them. So if I came in and I didn't recruit these young ladies, maybe it'd be a little bit more of a concern, but I know what I was going into. I know what I was getting as far as the freshman class and the young class, so yeah, it hasn't complicated matters really.
Holly, I should clarify that. They didn't say it was the worst job. They said it was the most difficult job in the country. I will clarify that.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, the most difficult because you're following somebody that was there 38 years and who built the program. At the same side of that, they said, we don't care. We're coming after them. It's still
Absolutely.
a signature win. I mean, you guys, you lost all your seniors.
Absolutely.
Pat's retired, but you're still behind it, even though you weren't even picked to win the SEC. How do you deal with those expectations?
Well, it's a test to the commitment that the university made to Pat Summitt and the women's basketball program. So she built a great foundation, and so we're building on that foundation. Tennessee's not going to go anywhere. We're still expected to win. We're still expected to win championships, and I wouldn't expect them any less to not want to beat Tennessee, whether Pat Summitt's there or not.
Melanie Balcom said she recently went on a recruiting trip to the Pacific Northwest, and the kid has a Lady Vol poster in her bedroom. She asked her, could you just take it down while I'm here? Is that just the reach of Pat Summitt still? I mean, this is a kid who was probably born well after most Lady Vols have played. I think it was an older Lady Vol, and there's the poster up there in her bedroom.
Well, I think absolutely it's a test of what Pat has done, the opportunity she's provided young women, and you know, we lead the nation in attendance, but we're everybody's biggest crowd on the road. So that's a test to this program and what Pat Summitt has built, and the young women who came before, the great players, Bridget Gordon, Schmicker Holzclaw, Candace Parker, Tamika. Those kids helped build this foundation.
How did last year's experience help you deal with this year? The fact that Pat was there, but you were pretty much running the show. But now this year, you don't look to have that security blanket next to you.
It was a great. Not only did I had Pat there, we had a strong staff. Mickey DeMoss was there, who's had 30 years of coaching experience. Dean Lockwood was there. So we had an abundance of experience. And if I felt like, even today, if I felt like I had to get up and coach by myself, I'd be a nervous wreck. But I have a great staff. I know how to use the staff. I used our staff last year. Probably the most difficult thing was I'm up leading the team, and then I'm turning around and asking Pat Summitt a question. That was probably the most difficult thing for me. But I think you surround yourself with great people, and I think with Dean Lockwood there and adding Kyra Elsie and Jolette Law, I have so much confidence in their coaching ability, their knowledge, their ability to lead these young ladies on and off the court. So I don't feel like this is Holly Warlick, I'm out there by myself. I feel like I've got a great staff, and then off the court around me and giving me her opinion is Pat Summitt. So I have a lot of resources. This isn't about me, and it isn't just I'm going to be making these single sole decisions.
How beneficial will it be too that you'll be able, hard times, good times, be able to walk down the hall and still speak to Pat about basketball every day?
Well, I love it, and I will tell you this. Pat and I probably have had more conversations non-basketball related now that she has stepped back than before. And Pat's going to always be a great friend of mine, and that's how it is. And I'm going to protect her. I'm going to be around her because she's a mentor and just a fabulous friend to myself. And so I see Pat so much in a different light than everybody else sees her. I understand her wins. I understand she's a legend. I see her as Pat, my friend, my former club coach, and so I have a different perspective on Pat and how I see her.
Holly, has the team figured out that you got quite a bit of Pat in you? Sierra Burdick spoke to the media yesterday and said you told the team this is not a democracy. It's a communist regime here. There's one vote. You got upset with them a while back. It was reported that you had them out running at 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you think the team has realized that there's quite a bit of Pat Summitt in you?
Well, I will say this. We're going to get it right. And if that's got Pat Summitt in me, then that's awesome. We don't have a lot of rules, but when we don't do things right, then there's a consequence. There's always a consequence. So I wasn't happy with some things, so we got up and ran. And just want to make sure that we're on the same page, and it's not a democracy. It's how we want to do things, and we're going to do things the right way. And if we don't, then we'll figure out how we're going to get it done.
With Kentucky being picked preseason on number one, and with the program that Matthew's built in, and Nikki and Coach Landers at Georgia, there are a lot of other elite programs in this league. How do you want to try to get Tennessee back to where it's been? And I'm not saying that it's fallen off.
Oh, I understand.
Forever. It's
Right.
you're still there, but
Right.
The program is so used to being at the top.
Sure. Well, I'm not concerned that we aren't preseason ranked number one. I'm concerned that we have Tennessee kids in there that are going to play the style that we want to play at Tennessee, and I think the freshmen we have in, they play up tempo, they're athletic, they're aggressive, and that's where we want to go. And Kentucky, very deserving. They lose one starter. They've got a great team coming back, and they're the team that where we want to go in the SEC this year. So we just got to take care of do the things that Tennessee does, and that is we got to get back to playing hard on the defensive end, being a great rebounding team, and scoring out of our transition. And I think we've got the athletes and the players in place right now to get it done. May not be ready to. We're not going to be ready to throw the ball up tomorrow, but we will get there. We will get there with kids coming in with great intensity and our staff leading them.